So, have you ever wanted to be a big deal? You know, a big deal that people look up to and who holds influence and has respect from other people. I mean, wouldn't business be a little bit easier if people viewed you as a big deal? Well, in this episode, I'm going to share with you a big deal exercise that will help you increase your influence so you can increase the impact that your business has on your future and in the world. So, stay tuned. Welcome to episode 132. My name's Tanya Aliza and I help entrepreneurs and network marketers create success fast while most importantly designing a lifestyle that you love. So if you're new here, consider subscribing because I put out a brand new training episode and free resource for you and your business each and every week. So a little while back, I was at an event in San Diego called the Entrepreneur's Experience, hosted by Amy Porterfield. It was a fabulous event. There were 400 people in attendance, and she did this exercise inside of the crowd and inside of this mastermind that we had to pay $2,000 to be a part of. She did this exercise and it was pretty epic, and I want to share with you this exercise because it's impacted my life so much. I think it will really impact yours as well. So she did this exercise called the Big Deal Exercise. And there's a couple of parts to this Big Deal exercise. And at first, I'll be honest, I sat in the crowd and I had my arms crossed a little bit and I was like, you know, when you get told to do an exercise and you're at an event, you're like, I'll just do that later at home or whatever. I don't know how much that will really impact me. But there was something about just like maybe the crowd or Amy standing pretty close to where I was sitting. I actually did this exercise. And the first couple parts of the exercise, I was like, whatever, right? And then I got to the last part of the exercise and I had a bunch of light bulbs go off that I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a powerful exercise. I'm so grateful that I actually took it seriously and I did it. So I'm going to share with you this exercise in this video. And then if it helps you, I want to know about it. And I think what would be really helpful to you is if I gave you a little worksheet so you could fill in the blanks and you can share it with your team, you can share it with your people around you. And you guys know in every episode of Tanya Aliza TV, I like to equip you with a free resource that you can download and you can use in your business. So since we're talking about the Big Deal exercise this week, I've got you covered. And what I've done is I've put together a one-page worksheet called the Big Deal Exercise Worksheet. So what you can do is you can head over to the blog, you can print and download this worksheet, and then you can fill it out as I share with you how to fill it out in this episode. So if you'd like that resource, all you got to do is hop over to the blog at tanyaaliza.com/132 download. I'll leave a link for you in the description box above or below this video. You'll click the link. It'll take you to the blog post. Underneath this video on the blog post, there'll be a big yellow button. If you click the button, you'll get the Big Deal Exercise Worksheet. You can use it. You can fill in the blanks as you go through this episode. I encourage you to do so. It'll be really powerful for you. So the first thing that you have to do, you got to ask yourself, do you believe that you were meant to be a big deal? Okay. Do you believe that you were meant to be a big deal? And obviously, if you're watching this video, I think you do. And if you're one of my peeps in one of my communities, you are a big deal. And I think you know that. But how do you define it? How do you put it into action? So there's a couple of steps. Step number one. Now that you know that you are meant to do bigger things, you're meant to be a big deal, I want you to fill out that worksheet. I want you to ask yourself, what does it actually mean for you to be considered a big deal? What does that mean to you? Now I'm going to share with you what I wrote down inside of this exercise so that you can get some ideas. And I've pulled this exercise up on my computer right in front of me here. So I'm going to read my notes on my Evernote that I took when I was at Amy's event. So to me, some of the things that I wrote down on that worksheet was for me to feel like I'm a big deal, like for myself. I have a couple things here. So one thing I wrote down is I contribute a huge amount of money every year to charities around the world. So that would make me feel like I was a big deal if I was able to do that. Another thing I wrote down was I'm asked to speak and train at the most popular internet marketing events out there. So if I was getting phone calls or emails or messages and people asking me to, hey, come and speak and train, to me, that would make me feel like I was a big deal. I can work and live anywhere in the world. I wrote that one down. People recognize me where I go based on my value I contribute to the world. I have a private jet that I take my friends on to explore the best places and experiences in the world. If I had that, would I feel like a big deal? Yes, sinful, guilty pleasure. I want a private jet one day. I have multiple houses around the world. My spouse, family, and friends, and all the people in my world love and adore me, along with all of my quirkiness. I get 100,000 views or more on my YouTube videos. I'm asked to coach and mentor some of the most successful businesses in the world. So those are just a few things that I wrote down that would make me tangibly consider myself a big deal. So what are some for you? Write those down in step 1 on the worksheet. So step number 2, now you have what it means to you to be a big deal, or some of the things, right? You started that. Step number 2 is you have to ask yourself, what do you need to do to become that big deal? So write down some action steps that you need to physically do or mentally do to become that big deal. I'm going to share with you a couple of mine that I have written down here. So one of the things that I wrote down is I need to invest in a high level mastermind with very important and scary professional people that all make more money than me. Okay, so that was an action step. I want to get around people who are moving and shaking and making it happen. Another thing I wrote down was I have to delegate and scale my staff and my team better. Another one I wrote down, I have to come up with ideas and implement them faster. I have to get out there on more platforms for more exposure with the brand. And another thing I wrote down just personally at this event was I got to look at maybe changing or expanding the direction of my brand. And that's personally something that I wanted to do in my business. So what is it for you? What are some of the action steps that you need to do to make those things that you wrote down in step number 1 a reality? So step number 3, I want you to write down what are 3 habits, traits, or beliefs that are holding you back right now and are keeping you from playing big and becoming that big deal. We got to get a little bit vulnerable with ourselves on this one, be honest with ourselves on this one, and I'm going to get a little vulnerable with you and I'm going to share with you mine. So I had more than 3, okay? So if you have more than 3, great, but here's what I wrote down. I have to believe that what I have is good enough, okay? So quit thinking that I need more training. Take a look at what I have right now and believe truly that it is enough to get me to where I want to go, and use what I have in front of me. My belief that was also holding me back is that people who are playing at a higher level don't think I'm good enough. Okay, maybe I need to reframe that stinking thinking, right? I also believe that I have to do the hard tasks in my company. Is that true? Probably not. I also believe that I have to be the most influential person in the room. That kind of strikes the ego, makes me feel good, right? But is that a good place to play? Absolutely not. And I also think that pivoting in my business is something I can't do. So that's holding me back. So those were some of the things that were holding me back, and mindsets, beliefs, habits. What are some for you? Is it that you sleep in the morning and you know you should be waking up earlier, or maybe you're fitting in too much social media time and you need to really manage your time better? What are habits, traits, or beliefs that are holding you back? Write down some of them on the worksheet right now. Now, step number 4, okay, in this big deal exercise is you have to believe hard and take all out massive action. You have to believe hard that you can do all the things that you stated in step number 1. And then you have to take all out massive action on the things that you stated in step number 2. Okay, so 4 steps to the big deal exercise. I loved it. Now, this is going to be something that will hold you accountable to yourself and becoming like that big deal. And I want you to know that you are a freaking big deal. All right, and remember, you guys, this exercise was so amazing for me, but remember, you guys, I've got you covered. We've got the big deal exercise worksheet ready for you to fill in the blanks. We made it super easy for you. It's a one-page document. Fill in the blanks, staple it in your office or on your fridge or wherever you can keep it and do the exercise and see it every day and hold yourself accountable to it. We've got that ready for you to download and print out on the blog at tanyaaliza.com/132 downloads. You can head over there right now, pick up that resource and use it. And I'm going to be excited to hear what some of you guys put down on your big deal exercise worksheet. Question of the week. Do you believe that you are meant to be a big deal? I want to hear in the comment section below. I want to hear a hell's yes in the comment section below. Drop it like it's hot and get the conversation started. So, did you get some value out of today's episode? I truly hope that you did. I hope you believe that you are a freaking big deal, and I'm rooting for you. If you did find value in this video, make sure to like it, make sure to smash the share button, get it out to your peeps, get it out to your team, share it around, drop a comment, and I will see you on the next episode of Tanya Aliza TV.